So, hi, this is Charles Anderson, principal of Michelle Clark. Today, talking about my experience in being black. So, I would start out by saying I'm the oldest. Most people probably think I'm an only child, but I do have younger siblings. But being the oldest sometimes had its challenges because you're the one that had to get out there first. You're the one who had to do the experience. And coming from parents who moved over here on the west side and felt like you had a job, hold it for 30 years, and be happy and all of those things. If that wasn't what I wanted to do, how did I create a roadmap as the oldest child to decide what that looked like, how that felt, and all of those things? And understanding that there were different stereotypes and expectations that were put on me, not only being the oldest, but also being a black young man, where there were different stereotypes that felt like being followed in the store, talking through a bulletproof glass. I remember just thinking that was the norm until I went away to school and then all of a sudden realized they don't have these everywhere. And so that experience and that exposure got a chance to open up my eyes to a lot of things. I remember one experience, especially when you talk about stereotypes and people not knowing how to describe you or to keep you as an individual. At the college that I went to, we had a guy who was, I guess he was raping or pulling women or fighting them or something like that. But he was described as 6'1", small afro, black. I got stopped 3 times. And I would like to say I did have a small afro at that time, but I'm only 5'2". And so that was a huge experience to see, like, what that meant. Like, people just couldn't describe us. People couldn't understand us. People didn't know where we from. And then even once being in college, sometimes just being ridiculed, maybe because of my diction. It didn't sound as clear as maybe the others. And one of the things I would say about the black experience is that you have to learn how to get to the table. And when you get to the table, every time you're at that table, you have to take your best shot, because there's so many times and so many things that sometimes weigh and are against us. And so when I look at why I'm still here at Michelle Clark, I look at how my fight has been for our community, how my fight has been for understanding of the depth and wealth that we have, but that is manipulated out of us. I think about how sometimes we would rather wear a name on our clothes versus having money to invest or to understand. And it's just because we've been manipulated that way. And so as I continue to think about it, this job has not just been a job for me, but it's been a life calling to bring equity and understanding, enlighten people on the gifts that they have. We are talented. We are like remarkable people when we put our mind to it, when we put our efforts into it, and just understanding the difference in the treatment when we're at the table. How important it is that when we're at the table and we're in the room, that we make the difference that we need to do for everyone. It's not good for me just to go into a room, make a difference for me, and forget all those that have to come behind me. Our ancestors did all the work that they did, and we stand on their shoulders now. And in standing on their shoulders, others will come behind us to stand on our shoulders. So it's important that we make the right decisions and the right movements so that others are able to stand and we're able to keep moving. We must learn that we have the power within ourselves to be great, to be magical, to be creative, if we're just loose and let that become unharnessed. But we also have to realize there are people that will stop us, maybe because they don't understand where we're coming from or understand how to teach us. So I would just like to say one of the things that is my favorite quote is that, Dr. Martin Luther King said, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. And so it's important to us as people to get to the table and bring the others so that they're able to stand on our shoulders and be just as successful and keep our families moving forward.